Hey, besties. Let's throw some shade, honey. You ready to get into it? I didn't like how Tambra sitting at the table at the end telling Carrie and her husband all about Letitia and Glenn's old business about that almost baby. Yeah, they almost had a baby. You think you should be doing that? You know it's gonna get back. And I hope next week at the reunion, I hope they run the tape back. And I hope Letitia chew you up, Tambra, because I can't believe you the one who we know the least amount of. You did good this season showing up. Yeah, you did good. You had to. You had to step your game up. And I guess you had to clock in today's episode, last night's episode. I guess you had to clock in because you give nothing to the show. You hanging on by a thread. And then now you about to start this mess. You remind me of Gretchen coming back on the OC talking about stuff from 15 years ago. Let it go. Especially when your situation ain't good. You just been up and had this baby by this man because you was desperate. Your clock was ticking. You ain't married. Y'all don't even act like y'all in a real relationship. You don't know nothing about his finances. Now you stressing after the baby is here. And then you're gonna have that one scene at your house to make it look like y'all live together. You don't. He was coming over to visit because your dumb butt gonna ask your daughter, "Do you know who that is?" Well, clearly y'all don't live together. Then you up here with the money man trying to dig into the man's finances because he won't tell you about nothing. So then what do? Your ego gets involved because I'm the responsible one. We ain't gonna never go without that. That will never happen. Tambra, do you think you should be on here telling somebody else's business? I don't think so. And I didn't like it. But welcome, besties. You are now behind the shade, and thanks for joining me. I recap your favorite reality shows weekly. Now let's kiki and haha and get into the last episode. It's Belle Collective Season 6, Episode 7. Belle, I Believe in Miracles is the name of the episode. I don't know where they got it from, but whatever. Besties, do me a solid. Drop down in the comments and let me know what you thought about last night's episode. And do me a solid. Like the video. Please like the video and make sure you subscribe to my channel and make sure your notification bell is on so that you know each and every time I post my content. Now, child, Letitia gets home from Carrie's trip to the Gulf Coast, where she rented that mansion. Okay, girl, of a home. So Glenn is at the house, child. He done got some takeout. Looks like something equivalent to Benihana's. He's fixing the plates, getting it going. Something along the line of what Latrice wanted Cliff to do. She wanted him to be home, but we'll get to that. Letitia comes in. She says she's tired and she needs to process everything between Latrice, Amanda, aka Mandy, and Glenn. So I'm like, why don't you ask Glenn to see the DMs from his side? Like, we know that Mandy showed us some DMs. It was quick and slick at the party, standing up, emotions are rising. But now that you're sitting down with your husband and you've kind of talked to Latrice, and why don't you ask him? You need to search, go back to the beginning, you know, see what's up, dig into it. I don't think she deep dived into how they started. And I mean, he said some things. What did he say? They met at a club. Oh, whatever. I don't know. Maybe it's not even that serious. Or maybe it'll just be too much drama because Glenn gonna be lying, anyway. So I just feel like she needs to ask him what's in them DMs. We need to revisit that from her husband's say. You know, we got a man decide. So anyway, my thing is, and the reason why I'm saying that, besties, is because you need facts in order to process, Letitia. Like you need facts, her side, his side, your side. Then you process. You can't process when you don't have all the information that you need because, you know, what are you processing? You're pretty much just gonna be sitting there wondering, do I love him? Should I stay in this marriage? Is he keeps embarrassing me? And he does, Letitia. It's been 6 seasons of this. Uh-huh. So she told him that her and Latrice did talk, and she just doesn't know why they be locked in so good, you know, and then she takes it too far. Then, you know, it explodes. Kind of like her marriage with Glenn. So Glenn says he wants to talk to Cliff because their friendship is not balanced. He just don't feel like Cliff got his back like he would have his. And so she's like, well, you know, what's up? And so he's like, Letitia, there's nothing to tell. You know what I'm talking about? So then he tells her, well, next Friday, clear your schedule. And she was like, okay, what you do, just clear your schedule. And so Letitia said, okay, but check this out. Don't invite that group. Do not invite the Bells. I don't want to be around them right now. Cool. So Latrice told Cliff before she left for the trip, she told him to be home when she get back. She wants him in that house when she gets back from the trip. Well, honey, he wasn't at the house. So she must have went home, packed up some things, went over there to Taste, went up to them condos where he was at, chilling. See like what you doing? Chilling. So she moving in, child. She like moving his stuff over. She like, okay, I'm gonna put my shoes here, move your clothes. I'm gonna be here because I'm gonna be where you gonna be. She wants him glued to her hip, and he knows it, and he thinks she being petty. She like, no, I want to be on the same page with my husband. So he said, well, yeah, I'm gonna be on the front page, and you gonna be on the back page. And I'm like, Cliff, that was so misogynistic to say. Oh my God, she's such an old turd. Cliff, you're just an old Howard Hewitt turd. So then Tambra and Damon, they go meet with a money coach. And Damon knows old boy from the past, school, whatever. So he like, oh, that's the homie. Okay, cool. So, you know, she says she's the responsible one, but she doesn't want to brush Damon's finances under the rug anymore because he won't share. And she, you know, she wants to make sure their baby is set. She wants to make sure the girl gonna be prepared for life, have everything together. When she becomes of age, she want her daughter taken care of and set. Okay. So the coach explains to Tambra that Desmond acts the way he does because number one, men are attached to their finances. Uh-huh. It's a part of their manhood. Okay. And he pretty much just said money is their identity. And when they're questioned, they're going to shut off. So, what's his name? I want to call him Desmond, but there's no S. Damon. Damon is like, yep, that's him, homie. So they, you know, slap thighs, whatever. And so Damon is not a super saver because his father wasn't there. So in essence, he had to grow up early. He had to step in his father's place and he had to help out around the house. So his thing is, honey, he been doing this. He been responsible and he's never had to share his money. And that's kind of sensitive. No one's just going to be here, this is how much I make here. Tell me what to do with my money. And they're not married, but you know, it's like Tamara's jumping the gun. She doing everything but getting married. But you know, that's on him when he decides that they should get married. But yeah, okay. I just think she's skipping some steps to me. It just seems like you need to be kind of more worried about where you two are in life. Are y'all together? Because it's not giving that y'all in a relationship. You trying to do everything but be committed. And why, huh? And I'm just like, I just expect traditional ways when it comes to Southern belles. We talked about these people are in Mississippi. I just would expect that you want to get married first. And I know time is of the essence. If you want to have a baby, fine, but uh, I don't know. So I'm gonna call him D. He comes to the table. He has understanding. He understands where Tamara's coming from. So, she does hope marriage is next because production asked her. She says she'll back off a little, but he says that, he should have let her in his money business a long time ago. So he like, no, you can come and be all up in my finances. It's cool. I'm secure. Come on and bust it on out. Give me my allowance. Tell me what to do. Cause your mouth, I don't want to deal with this. So he's like, I'm game. Cool. But then he said he was already saving up when the baby was born. He decided to start thinking about that. So kudos to them. I'm gonna need them to, yeah, okay. We'll move on because I don't need them to do anything when I think about it. So Glenn meets with Cliff outside of Taste, because that's where Cliff lived, child. I'm like, why does he even want to live in a condo above the restaurant? Like, you had that big old beautiful house. Oh, I know why, because he's running from the trees. And she like, everybody's marriage is a mess on this show. Nobody should be talking about nobody. But I think about it, nobody. So they talk. Glenn talks about, what happened at the house, asking like, who do you like that question, who do you find attractive in this group? Sounded like a setup. Cliff feels no matter what, Glenn should have stayed calm in the situation because he got angry. He popped off. He jumped up, jumped in that girl's face, act like he was going to do something. And Cliff tells Glenn, you look guilty. You look guilty. Now, mind you, these are two slime buckets that are friends. Now, remember, at the party, they were dressed like twins. They had on the same short set. So, Cliff got to give Glenn the footnotes on how to be a player because sometimes Glenn is his game is goofy. Like he do stupid stuff. Like you can't get at your best friend's wife's hairdresser that knows your wife. And I know Mississippi is little, probably. Jackson might be a small town. But Glendale, you got to think, why don't you just settle down? Like, just be with who you're with, boy. You can't cheat right. Glenn doesn't cheat right. He's not good at it. So he needs to leave it alone. So Cliff tells Glenn that he looked guilty. Glenn agrees. He said he lost his cool. He was like, I wasn't going to hit her or nothing, but he lost his cool. And he said, but it wasn't coming from a place of guilt. Honey, he is not going to admit that he did anything wrong. It was not coming from a place of guilt. Why not, Glendale? You are a married man. No woman should be showing your wife messages from you that you've been about anything. No woman should be able to spray you at a party about what you've done outside of your marriage. And then Glenn wants to make it seem like it was just something so small. Nothing. It was nothing. It could have been. You was trying to make it be something. You was trying. And how come we ain't seen Amanda since then? Like it seemed like she ain't got nothing else to say. Cause Latrice ain't went and got her hair done. She been wearing hats. she has been wearing hats since. Have y'all noticed that? So him and Letitia, they're trying to work on their marriage, and he's telling Flip, like, blood. We doing good, and then that happened. And so now it's like, how does Glenn know? I just wonder, like, how does Glenn know that Amanda is Latrice's hairdresser? Uh-huh. Because Amanda told you. I know. But besides that, how would my husband's best friend know who I went to get my hair done? Yeah. Glenn, Glenn, please let this be your last time. Please let this be your last time. So Latrice told Cliff that she didn't know about the questions. You know, she gonna keep true to her lie. So Glenn is looking like he think Latrice lying to Cliff too. So he thinks that Cliff should have had his back more because he claims the Rogers as his family. Like, you know, that's like Cliff is like his uncle. You know, he said if that was me and that happened at my house about you, I would have shut that whole party down. And that's what he was expecting him to do. So Cliff says he can't control the trees. I'm like, okay, he's finally coming to that. He's acknowledging that finally. He's trying. So now Cliff's tactic is he runs away from the trees. He don't want to come home. He gonna stay at work. You know, home life is terrible when you want to stay at work. Child, please. The way I be getting up out of my, you know, I'm self-employed. I own my own business. The way I be ready to go as soon as I get to work, oh, ain't no way I'm staying. No, 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 no. And I have room. I have a room in the back that I could make into a lounge or I'm going home. I'm going home. So Cliff ain't happy, Latrice ain't happy, and they better not be sitting there talking about Letitia either, because y'all ain't got room either. Okay. Glenn wants to consider Cliff a safe space. Cliff is trying to give him some game and telling him to be careful on how he move and talk with other women. He said, you know, other women are jealous and they coming to destroy you. So you need to be careful. So Glenn is like, but Glenn's still not 100% sure he can trust Uncle Cliff. And he's looking at Latrice. He was like, you know, I'll respect her because that's his wife, but he ain't going to put nothing past her either. So then he tells Cliff that he's doing something special for Letitia. He's going to do the recommitment ceremony, but he was like, I can't invite you. So Cliff is like, I understand, but if you need anything, let me know. But I do understand y'all going through a waves. This happened. Y'all embarrassed. You know, y'all going through y'all little thing again. I understand. But Cliff said he was hurt that he can't be there because he Uncle Cliff. He supposed to be there. So, here's a more heart-wrenching moment. The next segment, the Bells agreed to go to Prentice. This is a city an hour or so away from Jackson. This is where Selena's deceased son used to live, and this is where the unaliving happened. He was unalived at his home. So she shows them outside the place exactly where the body was found, and someone had laid a blanket over him. So she was like, someone was covering him and cared about him, you know, and took care of him even in that sense, right? Yeah, that was pretty like, oof. So they go inside the house, and you know, there's a baby picture of a little girl, and they're like, "Is this his daughter?" And she's like, "No, that's son Jay. You know, her and JJ's daughter. I think it's the oldest." And he, you know, she says, "Oh, he loved his sisters." So then she sees his favorite shirt sitting on the bed, and then Cliff tells us that he'd been knowing Quincy for so long. You know, they go way back, you know, a little back because, of course, Quincy is young. But Quincy used to work for Cliff. He had a tree cutting service, and Quincy used to work for him. And I was like, oh, that's probably how you met his mama and y'all, you know, because you know Cliff and Selena used to kick it. I found that to be so weird. And they moved past it, so I guess I will too. So Marie is looking around and she sees evidence of a struggle, like a fight, like he wasn't an easy, you know, because clearly if he was found outside, yeah, he was trying to get away. So there's holes in the wall, kicked in doors, fingerprints. So yeah, she's saying, yeah, he thought that there was something going on in here before that happened. And so then Latrice is like, you know what, we need to put up an award, you know, a reward, a money reward, you know, put it out there, get people talking to find out who is behind all this, get some leads to help the police because his 187 is still not solved. It's unsolved. So Latrice is like, with me and Cliff will put the money up. If we can't, get it together, we'll put the money up. If somebody comes forth, because you my friend, I got you. Cliff wasn't tripping. Cliff must have some good he got some coins, huh, y'all? Cliff got some coins. That's why Latrice over there hanging on to him, huh? But I thought that was nice of Latrice coming off the messiness of her. She could at least do something nice for somebody. Okay, cool. Then they pray. Okay, so child, Glenn is planning this recommitment ceremony. He's not doing a good job. This man needs help, and I don't know why her mother wouldn't help him, but maybe she don't want to because she's at that age where she just wants to come and sit down. But Marie was trying to tell him what he did wrong. He didn't execute correctly. So Letitia's mom is there, his stepfather is there, and Dr. Marie is on the phone lighting him up because the plans are not going right. She's telling him, yeah, you contacted Letitia's team to help you, but they sitting there waiting on you to give them direction. You ain't told them what to do, when to do it, how to do it. He's like, well, I did. So Letitia pulls up finally, and he goes out there. She's upset because work was horrible because the team is on her trying to figure out what to do. She mad because he's not putting in no effort, and she shows up for everybody. No one shows up for her, and she just was like, I'm not planning my own surprise recommitment ceremony because she don't really know what's going on, and she want him to step it up. So she mad that no one shows up for her because pretty much she was gonna have to plan this, and he getting mad because she not acting grateful. She wants to be grateful, but she like, you ain't even like blood. How long you been knowing me? You know I throw events. You ain't paid attention to nothing I do. I done threw 3,000 brunches. You don't know how this works. You ain't paying attention. You don't have a clue. I mean, Glenn, all you needed was what? Help. And Marie should have helped them. But child, she over there worried about that mattress that Cedric got over there. She ain't got time, but it wouldn't have took that much. And the team, I just don't know why the team, I kind of feel like they knew what to do. Why didn't they just go ahead? What was preventing them from going ahead and making this happen? Uh-huh. I'm serious. As I look at this, I just see both sides. Like, how come the team, you knew what he was doing, you knew he don't know what he's doing, and you know what to do. And Letitia is your girl, right? Girl, you need to take a look at your team and make sure your team is solid, because something in the milk ain't clean. How come they couldn't execute? Okay, just my thought. So, child, Cedric is over there trying to move the mattresses. He trying to load it up and wrap them up on top of his car. Marie like, okay, good, let's get them out. She said they're doing good, so great. Glenn is at the location. They're off at the water, really pretty, white chairs set up, not too many. And he gets there and he's just like, oh my gosh, there's no decorations. Where they at? They 2 hours late. I said, oh, clearly Glenn didn't cut no check. That's probably why the team didn't show up with no decorations. Where's the money, honey? So Latrice is at Taste. She's inviting the rest of the ladies, the Bells, to a restaurant because she wants to have a do-over for the ladies since the party at her house was a disaster. So Selena shows up, Carrie and Matt, Tambra shows up, and Cliff is there. I believe that was it, right? Latrice, Cliff, Tambra, Selena, Carrie, Matt, 6 people. Okay. Was anybody else there? I guess that's it. Okay, so Cliff tells them that Latrice and Glenn weren't coming because they was like, where the rest? Oh, they're not coming because they getting recommitted to each other today, right now. They all like, the ladies like, what? The Bells are like, What? Where was my invitation? All he had to do was call me. I wasn't invited. And so they're like, no, because y'all be acting up. And then Matt says something like, I think he probably just want to have a drama-free event. Yeah, I get it. Because, they holler at each other in the DMs too. So they kind of are start, creating a bond. So he stood up for Glenn. Unlike you, Uncle Cliff, over there gossiping. So, child, Letitia shows up to the location. I'm not sure if that's the dress he had for her because when she pulled up, she had on the same color. Maybe it was the dress he had because I think anyway, yeah, I think that was a different outfit if I remember. Yes. So they get there, she's hugging everybody. He gives her flowers, roses, red. So they get ready to do their little vows or whatever. And so Letitia's crying, like crying, not happy tears, stressed out, you stressing me out tears. And she's asking him for honesty, transparency. She's like, dude, make life easy for me. And I'm like, I know that's right, girl. So at Taste, Tamra tells the table about the outside baby. Child, Carrie like, wait, what? What happened? Like, say what? What did you say, girl? Say it again. What? And so Tamara keeps saying, there's a pattern. It's a pattern. Like they just on and off all the time. So she's like, they get cool. Then there's an outside baby. Then they do a re-proposal. Then something else happened. Then he writing a love song. Then something else happened. Then like Cliff gonna say, yeah, he'll change for like 60 days. It's like, wow. Wow. What about your friends? Alexa, play TLC. What about your friends? Because, honey, Cliff is so messy. Latrice says, a tiger and a zebra don't change their stripes, child. Shut up. So Glenn tells Letitia that he loves her. They cry together. And she tells us, honey, that this will be the last fresh start. I was like, I know that's right, girl, because at some point you have got to be tired of Glenn playing with you. And I think the thing is he's not gonna stop till he really feels like he's losing you. Like you're gonna have to walk away. You gonna really have to just. And I think she only stayed because he went and got his job back. You know what I'm saying? You can't be a dog and don't have no money. Now, come on here now. But besties, that was the end of the episode. Yes, it was. And next week is the reunion, y'all. Oh my gosh, I cannot believe next Friday will be the end of the Braxtons and the Bells. We're going to get 2 hours of the Braxtons and then the one part reunion with the Bells, honey. And my Fridays will be freed up. Honey, I'm excited. But just know I'm coming back tonight with Love and Marriage Huntsville. They're back. So we probably going to get them until the end of the year, whatever. Good. So my schedule will be changing. I will be doing Love and Marriage Huntsville on Saturday, Real Housewives of Potomac on Sunday, Real Housewives of Salt Lake City on Tuesday, and I believe in about 2 more weeks, Married to Medicine will start. So then my schedule will be Saturday, Love and Marriage, Sunday, Potomac and Married, and then Tuesday, Salt Lake City. And I don't know what housewife is coming up next. Which city is coming up? I guess Beverly Hills, huh? Beverly Hills is about to start. Isn't it starting up in December? December 4th? Something's coming on December 4th that I'll have to read. Hold on real quick. I guess I can get off the line and figure it out later, huh? But I'm not. Okay. I think Beverly Hills starts December 4th, and that's a Thursday. Oh, Thursday shows are so hard, but I will work it out because I won't have Fridays. So if I don't do it Thursday night, I'll do it Friday night. Okay, 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 okay. Because my business is picking up, I'm gonna be busy. So the holidays, I'm gonna be busy. So yeah, okay. I'm rambling. Have a good Saturday, besties, and don't forget share, comment, like, subscribe, notification bell, and I'll be back with another recap. It will be Love and Marriage Huntsville. I can't wait. Bye, besties.